Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel leelawebdev. So here in this video we will learn about the animation of this button. So at the first time when this form is invalid, we will try to make this button as disabled, and afterwards when this form is valid, so we will bump it out and we will make it as a green color or something like that. So let's try to implement this one. So here if you try to see, this is the form element. We will try to disable it first before clicking. So we will try to disable it first. So now for disabling this one, so what we need to do is, so here it is getting added, right? It should not add it like this. So we need to disable it before adding. So here what I can do is, let's go to the new course. Okay. And here in the new course.html file. So in order to make this disable, so this is the course form, which is a reactive form. And this one will have a property, valid property. If it is valid means then the form is valid, or otherwise it is not valid. So for this one I will add something like disable is equal to not of course form dot valid. If it is not valid, then it should be disabled. That's it. Now if you see here the output, and in this add my course, and here if I try to click it, oh sorry, I need to refresh it. I think it should not be valid. So if I refresh this page, or otherwise did I save it? Yeah. Now if I click here, and here this create course is in a light gray color. Why? Because it is disabled. Now if I try to enter the name, it is in the dark blue color. Why? Because it is now valid. Now the button is not disabled. So we'll try to add some validations to the TS file. That means the form. We have written only for the name validators dot required. Let's try to implement validators dot required for this one also. Validators dot required. And here for this one also I will write validators dot required. That's it. So now we have written validations for 3 of these things. And now let's refresh this page. Now these 3 input elements or the form elements we need to enter, then only the form is valid. Let's go to the create the add course. Here let's go, and here if I write something, so now until unless I select the drop down, it is disabled. Now if I select any status for this one, active, then this is disabled. If I create a course, now automatically the course is created. So fine, everything is working fine as it is. Now we need to add something in such a way that when this form is valid, we need to create some bumpy effect or something green color. We need to convert it. So for this one, let's try to write the animations. For writing the animations in the new course, I am creating a new file, animations.ts file, and here in this animations.ts file, I am creating a new variable that is nothing but a state variable, export constant button state trigger. I will write it like this, button state trigger is equal to trigger of button state. So this is our animation thing. So trigger, we need to import it from the Angular/animations, and here we will be having 2 states. One is a valid state and another one is an invalid state for a button. So now here let's define the state. State, if it is a valid, okay, if it is a valid is there means then I need to have style, I need to apply the style. So if it is a valid state means then the background color should be green, right? Now this state and this style also should be imported from the Angular/animations, and we have another state, invalid state, and this should have a style background color of green, background color green, red. So now we have applied valid and invalid state. We need to apply these states to the here for this element. Now here, for in order to apply this one, we need to add animations to here. So here let's add this animations is equal to, here we need to add button state trigger. So it needs to be imported from the animations. Now here in our new course.component.html file, here I will write the button state. So that is nothing but the trigger state. Button state is equal to, we need to apply a state. So when we need to apply a valid state and invalid state, if the course form is valid, then I need to apply the valid state, or otherwise I need to apply invalid state. That's it. So now this is the course thing which I want to apply. Now here let's try to close this one. Yeah. And here also we'll remove it. Now this is the button state. So what could be the reason why it is having this error? Again, valid state and invalid state. Yeah, everything is correct only. Okay, we have to close this one. And there is no need of this button thing. Yeah. So now we have a button state. When this course form is valid, then we will apply a valid or otherwise invalid. Now if you see, first time it is invalid, right? Now if it is invalid means the state value. So what is the state value here? We are having the red color for the invalid. So red color will be applied to the button. When it changes to the valid, it will apply green color. Let's see here. Now if you see the output for the same thing, and if I click on this add course, see here we are able to see a red color for this create course. Why? Because right now the state is in invalid state, and for the invalid state we have added a red color. So that is the reason it is coming in red color. Now let's try to make this one as an valid state. If I try to make this one as a valid state, automatically immediately it has been converted into green color. This is because of the state variation. So this is because of the state variation. Now invalid to valid has been changing. So that is the reason we are able to see a green color. Now we will apply animations for this one. So I don't want to have that type of animation. I want to have a bumpy effect and all those things I want to show it. So let's go and implement. So I want to have a transition. Okay. I want to apply a transition of, so when it is going from invalid to valid. Okay. When it is having an invalid to valid. So when it is transforming this thing, I want to apply an animate. Okay. And it should be something like 500 milliseconds, and the style should be applied is something like transform. So I will apply scale of 1.1. So here I will apply this scale. So this animate should be imported from the Angular/animations. Now here I have transformed it one. So then afterwards what I need to do is, so here I need to animate this one after 500 milliseconds. I need to apply a style, transform scale to 1. So I am animating this one. So at the end this green color is there, right? So from invalid to valid. So that should be animate of 500 milliseconds. Okay. So now here these are the 3 animations which I am trying to implement it. Now these animations will be applied one by one. So if you try to see here, so let it refresh, and here when I click on this create course, so here I am active, and here we are able to see. Now when I write something, it will change into valid. So that means the scaling should happen. See, the scaling has happened. So here what it is happening here, if you try to observe, so if I write something, first what I can say is a bumpy effect is coming, scaling effect is coming, but still that is in red color, right? So if you try to see here, still it is in red color. Afterwards it is converting into green color, but two of the things should happen at a time. So for this one what we can do is, so here, so we can make it these two things as a group. So I will make this one as a group. Okay, this also should be imported from the Angular/animations. So group will take an array, and in this one I will move these things into here. Okay, and also I will animate the background color to the green. So here I will animate the background color to green. So here I will convert this background color to green. That's it. So now I am doing both the things at a time, and here I will make a comma, and there is no need to animate it here. Why? Because already we are animating. So these two things will happen at a time, and afterwards the scale will happen. Now if you see the output for the same thing, if you refresh this page, now if I click on this add course here, now I will try to select the status, and here now we observe. So what will happen? See, now the now the bumpy effect and green color is applying simultaneously, and afterwards the scaling is going away. So now we have applied. So this animation is somewhat good. Now let's try to apply the same thing for the what I can say is invalid to invalid also. Why? Because if I make it again invalid, immediately it is converting into red color. This should not happen. So what I will try to do is I will apply the same thing vice versa. Okay. So here from valid to invalid. So when it is converting from valid to invalid, the same scaling and all those things should happen, but this time it should be red color. That's it. Now if you see the output for this one, now it's the same thing. Let's try to refresh this page. I've refreshed it. So we have saved it, and this one is also executing. Yeah, fine. Now let's go here and refresh this page. Now if you observe this carefully, add course is there. I clicked it, and now I am selecting the status and I am creating description. Now here I am converting invalid to valid. If you try to see here, the bumpy effect has been came. Now I will be removing this invalid to valid to invalid. Now again the bumpy effect will come. So these are all things we are able to achieve it through 500 milliseconds. So let's try to make it as 300. Okay. So then it will be somewhat little bit fast. So I will convert it into 300. Everything will be converted into 300. Now it will be little bit fast. So if I save it, this one, let's go into here, and here it will try to refresh this page. I think it's compiling. Yeah, it's refreshing the page. Now it is refreshed. Now I will click on this add course. So it is coming. And now if I try to write something, select the status and do this one, and I will write it this one. See, immediately it is coming. And if I try to remove this one, see, it will go away. So this is the way how we can apply a animation to a button, the bumpy effect and all those things. So these are all the things we have already learned it, but I am trying to tell you all the possible scenarios how you can do the animations in the Angular. What I will do is I will commit this all the code in a new branch. That is nothing but a new branch, that is 42 video-42 video-42. So these are all the button animations. So button animation, and I will commit this all code. So if you want to have this code reference and for a reference and all those things, so I will provide this GitHub repository URL in the description below of this video. Whoever may be having doubts and all those things, so they can go to this GitHub Angular animations, and you can go to that particular branch, whatever the video you are watching. So you will be having a branch for each video. You can go to that particular branch of that video which you are trying to observe, and you can refer the code for that one. Hope you understood about this button animation. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.